Namaskar. I'm Kumar Rakesh and you are watching Global Governance News TV. Today news is just Congress always playing trying to victim card. So how we just how Congress will survive? Will our Bharat will be Congress book Bharat just as a claim by our Prime Minister and BJP leader Narendra Bhai Modi? And after 1 to 8 years, cricket will be the part of Olympic Games, and Mr. Justice U. Lalit will be the new CJI Chief Justice of Bharat. So these three news will focus. First news is just on Congress. Really, just you think about the Congress, the three-person, the chop on the bail. How the Congress perfected the corruption, and how just Rahul Gandhi again just speaking the Narendra Modi, and how just in 2019 like Chaukidar Chor hai. But what happened? The BJP came back to the power, more numbers. So also brings before the debate on corruption issue, which had no member of Nehru Gandhi family has moral authority to talk about. Here's a quick item I give you some family funded politics. How during the Nehru era, Congress even collected funds from industrialists and businessmen, which at times landed the party and the government in trouble. For example, when Mundra and industrialists who funded the party in 1950s ran into financial problems, he signaled to the government and it was time for payback. Nehru obliged and directed the LIC to buy his company shares at inflated prices. Finance Minister T.T. Krishnamacharya at the time was obviously acting on orders from above, lost his job when the truth came out. Later, after Congress split in 1969, Indira Gandhi began relying heavily on the communists for funds. And naturally, the Soviets came to her risk. Vasily Mitrokhin, who was charged of KGB archives, has made exclusive revelation about how Moscow funded the activities of Congress ahead of 1971 elections and even had moles in their cabinet. So, as a Tascan file, some stories mentioned by our filmmaker Vivekanotri also. The open facts now how Shastriji was killed, murdered, on the behest of whom? How file was just kept in the uh, top box, sacred boxes. So many of who have held a key position in Bharatiya politics, government, bureaucracy, industry in the post 1970 era provide us invaluable insight into how the grand old party went about the business of funding its activities in election campaign. These witnesses to that period say Congress decided a new mode of raising funds via commissions, collected a mega international defense and other contracts. V.G. Deshmukh, who was a cabinet secretary between 1986 to 89, has written an enlightening autobiography. A cabinet secretary looks back. So, in this book, say how just uh, the Congress party done it. So we can understand this book says the genesis of the workforce affairs lies in the practice initiated by Indira Gandhi and further refined by her son Sanjay for collecting funds for Congress party. In the middle of 1960, during the regime of Jawaharlal Nehru, the collection of funds for party was more transparent and business houses also permitted to make open donations. Indira, he says, was the dire need of funds to fight polls and establish herself as the undisputed leader of party. So the Indira politics, everybody knows this. For this, he depended on loyal supporters like Rajni Patel and Vasundhara Naik. This is the history, this is the fact, nobody can deny it. When she had established her supremacy in the Bharatiya politics, she decided far better way to collect funds through the claiming cuts from the foreign deals. Sanjay Gandhi perfected and refined this further from 1972 onwards. Marathi controversy at that time in the 80s, everybody knows. This book says when Indira came back in power in 1980, the system was fully perfected. how she has imposed emergency in the country. Everybody knows. An emergency, how just do the corruption with the Indian constitution, Bharatiya Samvidhan. Trusted officers were posted to key ministries and advised to how to finalize the deal. The second impassable witness is B.K. Nehru, a distinguished civil servant, ambassador and governor, and uncle of Sanjay and Rajiv Gandhi. In his autobiography, Nice Guys Finished Second, he recalled that Sanjay cremation, he had asked Rajiv whether the money Sanjay had collected allegedly for Congress was safe. Rajiv said all the funds in the Almira of a Congress office was 20 lakhs. Nehru then asked Rajiv, I'm talking to Vicky Nehru. How much Sanjay had? Rajiv said the head of the hands and said unaccounted crores. To more equally impeachable witnesses to this era are the former president R. Venkataraman and industrialist J.R. Tata. In his autobiography of my presidency year, Venkataraman recounts the conversation he had with Tata. Later said it was quite possible Rajiv or his family members did not make commissions from Bofors, but it would be difficult to deny the receipt of commission by the Congress party. That was because the Tata felt that since 1980s, industries had no approach for political contribution and that the general feeling amongst them the party was financed by the commission secured on the deals. So there is so many. Kothrachi, everybody knows, move the money around the several banks in the various location. After that, that is the credit goes to. I'm telling you, I know the all the stories. I reported many times. Mr. That time, Law Minister Hansraj Bhardwaj, after they shifted to the governor of Karnataka, so he just saved Sonia Gandhi with doing the all works and how the transfer the money gone to the UK bank and all his stories. This is all known facts. So how the Kothraji saved and Kothra is no more now. So it was finally traced the Channel Islands in the UK. The Vajpayee government got the UK government to freeze the account. However, Manmohan Singh government asked London to withdraw the order, resulting in the Kothraji eventually getting away with the loot. Why did the Italian businessman knock off a commission when Bharat fought fielded guns for the army? Why did Sonia Gandhi get the Manmohan Singh government to defreeze Kothraji's account? Many questions that should be understand. So that is not enough. Worker committees, conclusion, non-contractual beneficiaries, Iraqi oil sales, how Mr. K. Natwar Singh was just kept them out from the party, how the commission on the oil like that. So the many stories that. So if you're talking the corruption now, latest is the National Herald case. This is a 5,000 crore INR scandal. How does just money your transfer and taking back and so many stories are there matter in the court. So everybody should understand the matter in the court. And after that, you are talking about you are trying to be. You are trying to. This party should is just honest. Why not talking just telling you all the workers and the party members? No, don't do it. If you are honest, if you are done many mistakes, just face the court trial. What's problem in this? What is stopping you the trial? Why making this drama? Really? And you are saying the ED is behaving like that. ED is doing the job. This is government agencies. How he can direct do for that without any papers, without any proofs? So I think we should understand. So I'll discuss only some points. The how the scandal held in the country. So I am telling you some Chopper Gate scam, rupees 3,600 crores. He accused Congress-led UP government. And in Bizamalaya, that is also the scenes of Congress. 1992 security scam, 10,000 crores INR. That time he accused Harsat Mehta. 1892 Rafale deal controversy, 58,000 crores. Bofors scandal 1890, only 64 crores kiya Rajiv Gandhi, Indian and Swedish government officials. And Colgate scam, 1.856 lakh crore UPA government. This is the highlights. This is a Tilgi scam, 200 billion. He accused Abdul Karim Tilgi. 2G spectrum After that, court has just how the finish the there is different story how the paper scam at 1.6 trillion. So that time UPA government was there. Satyam computer scandal, 14,162 crores. That time the Veera Maralinga Raju accused Commonwealth game scandal. He accused I think 70,000 crore. Sheila Dikshite was there. Suresh Kalmari name was there. He was a committee, the PNB fraud, and just you say 14,000 356.84 crore. So a Cargill coffin scandal. I was saying that Hawala scam that time. Jain Brothers, nursing our government was just gone. There is so many stories. Karnataka mining scam. So actually, there is so many stories of this scam, and Congress can't escape from that. So if it's the National Herald case, they should face that trial. All three and other cases, Robert Vadra, Sonia Gandhi, and Rahul Gandhi on bail. Why they are on bail? They should tell the people the reality and truth and how that time in 2012 Modi government was not there. Let them think like that. So this is a main things. So a matter of concern. We should understand how the Congress means AICC means All India Corruption Committee, or AICC means All India Confused Committee. Let the decide the people how Congress is behaving in the country, the history, the past, all are just painted like anything. Really, if you go through that, this is the fact is fact. Everybody should understand how Congress is corrupt in all manners, how they'll decide the country. And this is also a matter of fact, the last 20 years of politics of Mr. Narendra Bhai Modi, who is a prime minister, you have not a single penny of corruption. You can just sketch and tell. This is also fact. As the slogan is Satyameva Jayate. The time of break, after break, we'll come to the news and also discuss about the Mr. Lalit, the new Chief Justice of India and the Olympic Games. We'll come to a break. Just we're talking about this Olympic Games. It's a good news for the cricketers. Cricket. So International Cricket Council will make a presentation to the Los Angeles Olympic organizers later this month, and in the bid for the sport to return to games after a gap of 128 years, according to sources. Cricket has been shortlisted for potential inclusion in 2028 Los Angeles Games, along with the baseball, softball, flag football, lacrosse, break dancing, karate, kickboxing, squash, and motor sports. Teams would play 2020 cricket, sports waters international format, which has inspired the lucrative Indian Premier League and the similar franchise-based competition in the country. The host cities can include any sports, but needs approval of the International Olympic Committee. The government is likely to take final decision at the IOC session in Mumbai next year to 2023, said one of the sources who has a direct knowledge of the matter. 28 sports featured in the initial program announced by the 2028 Games organizer in December at the Olympics since the maiden appearance in 1900 games in Paris when the Britain beat a team of mostly English expatriates, especially in France, by 158 runs to win gold. Despite initial obstruction from the powerful English and Indian cricket boards, the game has started to gain entry with multi-sports gathering around the world. So this will create the market of the cricket, like the boom, like anything. As you see, how the cricket is already going the water level, and just how the effect in the our society, Bharat society and others, and marketing and branding like that. No any games have. So it's a matter of concern. So despite the initial obstruction from the powerful English and Indian Cricket Board, the game has started to gain entry to multi-sports gathering around the world. Women's 2020 is being played in ongoing Commonwealth game in Birmingham, and cricket was also part of delayed Asian Games Hangzhou next year. So this is also after 24 years the cricket is just included in Commonwealth Games. So it is also featured in Africa Games in Ghana and Southeast Asian Games in Cambodia next year. Considering cricket low profile in the United States, many believe it has better chances of making the cut for 2032 Olympics in Australia. The ICC, however, is determined to grow the game in the United States, which is the cricket third largest broadcast market after Bharat and Britain due to the India and Pakistan and Bharati and Pakistani diaspora. It believes 2028 Olympics would make the perfect showcase. Olympic sports remain in cricket shadow in the subcontinent, so the ICC had based its bid around cricket unrivaled popularity around the religion's billion plus fans. Women's 2020 already proven a big hit on its Commonwealth Games, delivered to record 150,000 plus tickets sold. Being the multi-sports game, whether it is the Commonwealth Games or the Asian Games or African Games, putting cricket into these multi-sports events is good for the growth of game. ICC Chief Executive Ziof Aladis told reporter last week. Aladis was merely echoing the sentiments shared by several former players. Great to see T20 cricket in Commonwealth Games. Next destination, Olympics. Tweeted Muhammad in a flare, Muhammad Kaf. Let us see who for the best. I think the lobbying has been made. It will be part of that. So last but not least, congrats to Mr. Justice U. Lalit, the next line to become Chief Justice of Bharat. And he was appointed Supreme Court judge in August 2014 and said to become the next Chief Justice of Bharat. And after this, the present Chief Justice, Mr. Ramanna, recommended his name to the Union Law Ministry. Justice U. Lalit will have 74 days only, not a max 3 months. So chair before he retired on November 8. So what is tenure? So having this 17 days served by Justice Kamal Narayan saying in 1991, and after Justice U. Lalit, Justice D.Y. Chandrachud is the next line to head the Supreme Court for 2 years. So Justice Lalit will become the second CJI who would be directly elevated to the apex court bench from the bar. So Justice S.M. Sikri will become the 13th CJI in January 1971, was the first lawyer to elevate it directly to the top court bench in March 1964. Justice Lalit practiced an advocate of Bombay High Court from 1983 to 1995, and before moving to Delhi, he was appointed Supreme Court judge in August 2014. Before the recommended as Supreme Court judge by the bar, Lalit conducted the trial in 2G matters, the special public prosecutor for the CBI, and the apex court judge. The Lalit landmark hearing included the triple talaq case. He was part of 5 judge bench that, by a 3-2 majority in 2017, ruled the practice was illegal and unconstitutional. He risked himself from the Ayodhya hearing because he had appeared for former Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Kalyan Singh in a case related to Babri Masjid demolition. Last year, bench led by Justice Lalit has reversed the Bombay High Court controversial skin-to-skin contract ruling, the POSCO case. The apex court ruled that touching private parts, child's body, or any act involving the physical contact with sexual intent amount to sexual assault under the Protection of Child from the Sexual Offences POSCO Act. In July this year, Justice laid a bench had sentenced fugitive Chikon Vijay Malaya to 4 months in jail in contempt of court case. In another important judgment, a bench headed by Justice Lalit had ruled the erstwhile loyal family of Travancore has management right over the Sri Padmanabhaswamy temple in Kerala, one of the richest temple. Holding rule of the heritability must get attached to a right of the Sayabad servitor of the temple. He was also part of the bench and also dealt with corrupt electoral practices and misuse of SC/ST Act. Justice Lalit also the executive chairperson of National Legal Service Authority and focused on the use of technology. So we just congrats Global Governance News Group, this Congress Justice U. Lalit for the next CGI for the best, or for the best for the country or Bharat, whatever you can, the next last till November 8th. Thank you very much. And Um, keep in touch always and how just we are doing. We are the best doing and support our this news movement for the New India, Naya Bharat. Thank you very much. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.